Blake, congratulations. You won October baseball. You got it. What can you say about the grit of the team? Just that pick by Freddie, the bunt defense. Will's playing with a broken hand.
Yeah, no, it was unbelievable. And then Muncy on the bunt to go 3 as well. I mean, what a wild inning, but to play here, get 2 wins in this environment is special, and the team's clicking right now. It's a lot of fun.
You're special. Fastball command, whiffs on the off speed. What did you like the best about your performance?
Just how I'm adjusting. I faced them, not too long ago, and just how I adjusted from the last time I faced them, and just attacking the zone.
I mean, the 6 stood out for me. 2 runners on, heart of the order. How did the slider help you navigate that, Blake?
Yeah, just knowing what each batter can do, and when to challenge, when to get them to chase, and just trusting my stuff.
You told me about a decade ago I'm going to win 2 Cy Youngs and I'm going to shine on the brightest stage. How the heck did you know?
Confidence and work. Can't hide the work. So it's paying off, but got to keep going.
It was on full display tonight. Congratulations, Blake.
Thank you, Lauren.
Snell, yeah, with a name check to Lauren as well. I'm impressed. Blake Snell in the postseason, fabulous so far. Against the Reds, NL Wildcard Series, 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk, right? 99 pitches and 9 strikeouts again, tying his postseason. I did have the 4 walks, but no runs and 1 hit over 6 against that Phillies offense. It's awfully impressive. And of course, the Dodgers were saved by some great defense at the end, thanks to Freddy Freeman. Here he is, before mentioned, Lauren Shahadi.
Freddie, what'd you just tell me about your gray hair?
It's right here, but it might be up here after this inning.
After that last play, what'd you see on that pick? What were you trying to do?
Yeah, I was just trying to really try to do anything I could to catch it. Those are one of the hardest ones, those in-between ones, the short one or the long one, and that one's right in between. And, I went through it, and thankfully it stayed in my glove.
Well, Blake Snell told me you can't hide hard work. What can you say about his masterful performance?
Yeah, I mean, he's been incredible since he's come off injury. Everything we could have asked for. 6 strong innings tonight. He had everything working. Our starting pitching has been incredible for about a month now, so I'm glad everyone gets to see it on the national stage.
Time to go home.
I can't wait.
Congrats.
I need a day off after that one.
4-3 the final, despite a valiant attempt to tie it up. Here's their manager, Rob Thomson.
Rob, what went into the decision to have Bryson stop bunt there as opposed to swinging?
Just left on left. We're trying to tie the score. I liked where our bullpen was at based on as compared to theirs. So we played for the tie at home.
It seemed like the Dodgers were expecting it. Was there any thought of taking it off after?
Well, Mookie did a great job of disguising the wheel play. And we teach our guys that if you see wheel, just go ahead, pull it back and slash, because you got all kinds of room in the middle. But Mookie broke so late that it was tough for Stoddy to pick it up.
Next question. Okay, far left, Matt.
Did you feel the limitations of your roster not being able to pinch run for Castellanos there?
Well, I mean, it is what it is. So couldn't do much about it. I thought Stoddy laid down a good bunt, but it's the way it is. We knew that we were going to probably pinch it with Bader. We needed to have Willie there. Plus, if you pinch run Willie for Castellanos and then Bader hits, you have no one to run for him, and you don't have another outfielder. So, kind of hands were tied.
And is there any thought with? It seemed like you had a little bit of momentum there after not playing for the tie, or that didn't really enter the equation?
No, I want to play for the tie because I like where our bullpen was compared to theirs.
Okay, we're going to go over here on the left, second row.
Rob, I know this lineup's been one of the deep ones you've had, but right now with Harper and Schwarber and Trey struggling a little bit, is that kind of what's holding you guys back a little bit? You go as they go?
Yeah, I mean, you'd like those guys to be swinging the bats, but I do like what we're doing at the bottom part of the order. Snell was good again tonight, but I thought our bats were better against him tonight than they were in L.A. I don't think we got out of the zone as much as we did in L.A. Yeah, but, you have to have confidence that those guys will get it going.
And that spot in the 6th where Bryce comes up 2 on 1 out feels like a moment where he's come through so many times in the past. Did that kind of feel like maybe a turning point in the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think those guys are trying to do a little bit too much right now, instead of just being themselves and looking for base hits, and the power will come.
Next question. Far left, against the wall.
Rob, you talked a lot in the past about how resilient this group has been. This is probably the ultimate test coming up of resiliency. How do you guys sort of get back on track and get back into the series?
Well, you know, I'll have probably a little meeting with them on Wednesday, but I love the fight in the 8th and 9th inning. They fought like hell, and hopefully that carries over into Wednesday. But this is a resilient group. Our backs are against the wall. You just got to come out fighting.
We go back to Matt.
Will Ranger start Game 3?
It'll be Aaron Nola with Ranger behind him.
What's the reasoning behind that?
Nola's never pitched out of the pen, so how long he goes, I don't know. But and I trust him.
Is there something health-wise with Suarez right now?
No, nothing.
Next question. We good here? We got right there on the left, second row.
In the 7th inning, was there any thought in going right to the bullpen instead of sending Luzardo back out there?
No, I mean, he retired 17 in a row. He had 72 pitches. He's pitching great. So, I mean, you'd be asking me the question, why'd you take him out if I did? So.
And also in the 7th, what'd you make of the way Kerkering pitched? And also before the game, you said maybe you could go a little earlier with Duran. Is there any thought in putting him in the 7th just because he's your best reliever?
No, Kerkering did a pretty good job. And back-to-back nights, you get 2 outs, and you're thinking you're going to get out of it. And then Will Smith hits a slider for a base hit and gives up, we give up 2 runs. But, he strikes out Edman. He gets the jam shot to Kiki, walked Muncy, gets a pop-up, and then the base hit. So you're there thinking, well, we're going to get out of this thing. So I thought he threw the ball well again.
Okay, anything else?
Dynamite. 24 pitches in the first inning, something like that, but it was 70% strikes. He was getting ahead. He was tacking. The slider was really good. Changeup was good. Fastball had a lot of life. Battled out of that a little bit of a jam in the first inning, and they rolled from there. So he was fantastic.
Won it all season where you string together hits, add on, and then the aggressive base running with Teo breaking from third and you going straight to second on what looked to be a single.
Yeah, so, I mean, Luzardo was amazing. 96 to 99 with the slider, sweeper, and then changeups to Shohei and then obviously to the righties. That was a tough game for us. But when Teo gets the hit in the 7th inning, you're just trying to do anything you can to not ground into a double play, is what I was thinking. Just try and see if I can do something to get him into the second base. And thankfully, I was able to lift the slider up into right field. And the reason I went was, he was going to the line. I thought he would have to do a spin throw to second base, trying to keep things going, put pressure on him. So I felt like I got out of the box pretty good on it. So I just kind of calculated that him going to the line. I didn't hit it as hard because I hit it off the end of the bat a little bit. So I just wanted to push the envelope in that situation since we hadn't had anything going on since the first inning. And obviously some huge 2-out hits that we got in that 7th inning, by Will, and then obviously Shohei too. And great play by Teo getting his foot in. So a lot of good things happened in that 7th inning.
Mm-hmm. We go far right here, Jack.
Can you walk us through the last play in the 9th, just what you're seeing picking that ball?
Yeah, I think we got to go back. There's things that you do in spring training that never come throughout the regular season, and the wheel play that we pulled off on that bunt. That was picture perfect by Max and Mookie. I just want to throw that out there. I know we might overlook that, but that was huge, getting that guy out. And obviously, Tommy threw one into the dirt. Thankfully I was able to catch it and stay on the base. But, that was, I think I told Lauren after the game, my gray was right here. It might be up to my sideburn now. That was a stressful inning.
With Mookie especially, I think Max mentioned his idea to run the wheel play during the pitching change.
Yeah, we were talking about, so the whole conversation during was that, obviously, and then if we run the wheel play, that means there's going to be no one at second base. So that's when I chimed in. I said, if he bumps to third base, Max, you throw to Mookie. Tommy's going to first. I'll sprint to second base if it's not coming to me. That's why you saw me running to second. So we were just coming up with a plan on the wheel play to make sure we still had every base covered so he couldn't go home to second. And obviously they pulled it off perfectly.
But what does it say about Mookie to be able to execute in that kind of spot at this position that he's been taking on?
Yeah, I mean, I think hopefully everyone realizes how hard it is to switch positions and then do it at an elite level that Mookie has done this year. We were talking about doing a wheel play a couple of weeks ago in a certain situation as well. So that's been on our mind to kind of bring that out in that situation, and that was just the perfect time to do it. Nick, obviously, there's not Trey Turner running, so we had a better chance of that. So that's why we were gun-ho on that wheel play. And obviously Mookie and then Max and everyone just confident in pulling that off. And, I mean, everything was just perfect on that play.
Okay, anything else for Freddie? We're going to go over here on the left. Dylan, in the middle.
I'm guessing your adrenaline's still like jacked, but, you know, if you kind of take a moment to kind of hit pause and kind of sit back and, you know, kind of look at the position you guys are in, you know, in terms of this series right now, just how important were these two games here?
I mean, I think we were just sitting at our locker as I was getting dressed, and Kiku goes, "We just took two here. This is a hard place to play. An incredible fan base. It is loud here. For us to come out here, I think we were like get one, and then obviously when we won 2 days ago, that's when, you know, we try to gun ho and get two out of here. This is a hard place to play. We obviously put ourselves in great position going into Wednesday. Hats off to our starting pitching again. I mean, they were countering each 0-0. I mean, that's what you got to do in the playoffs is match zeros. It's hard to score runs in this environment, especially on the road. And Blake just kept us in the game. It was, you know, just keep throwing zeros up there until we can scratch one across. And to get two in this environment is obviously massive. You can't understate it. This is a really hard place to play in the regular season, let alone here. This is my first time ever playing here in the playoffs. It is loud. So just hats off to all of us to pull out two wins here.
Okay, take one last one here. Masa on the right.
Yeah, probably 2 weeks ago, nobody expected Loki pitch this kind of situation.
Yeah.
How much confidence you have now so he pitched this kind of tough situation?
I mean, every time he comes in, I think today is the most pressure situation you can obviously be put in. Guy in scoring position, first and third, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth on the road. To get thrown into that and to be calm, I thought the first pitch splitter was, you know, a really good pitch, and it was, you know, around the zone, so you knew he was calm and collected. I mean, he's throwing 100, 101. It's everyone we thought when we signed. It just took a little bit longer, you know. Sometimes that happens, and, you know, he looks so good on the mound now, so confident. Even when he gets the outs, you can just tell like he almost looked like he knew he was going to get it done, and it's a massive weapon for us this whole postseason now.
Thanks, Freddie.
Yep.
Class act that Freddy Freeman is giving love to Roki Sasaki in addition to the Phillies' home crowd. Well, Phillies offense once again going silent. Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper. These guys did not answer the bell. 1 for 10 in a critical game 2. And so far, Harper 1 for 7, 3 strikeouts. They expect more out of their 2-time MVP.
Yeah, thought he did a good job of, you know, mixing it up and you know, both sides of the plate. Thought he should, you know, did a good job, and couldn't really get much off him.
You guys did manage to then put together some hits late on. Just talk about the resilience you guys showed and being able to get back in the game and make a game of it.
Yeah, you know, came up short right there. Obviously, got to do a better job with guys on base, and you know, I had a couple opportunities as well myself, and didn't get it done. And earlier in the game, so just got to be better, and, you know, got our work cut out for us going into LA out west. So, like I said the other day, got to flush this one and, you know, get the next one.
First 2 games that they have come out pitching-wise, their starters and their bullpen. Just talk about overall how tough they have been through these first 2 games.
Yeah, starters been good. You know, obviously, like I said, though, I think you know, we've, you know, missed some pitches over the plate. Haven't done a very good job with guys on base, and just, you know, need to be better.
What did you think of Jesus' performance?
Sorry?
Jesus. What did you think of his performance?
Yeah, I thought he threw great. You know, he's been like that for us all year long, and I thought he threw the ball really well. You know, just didn't get it done for him.
Where's your guys pressing?
Excuse me?
Pressing in this last one? Are guys pressing?
No, I wouldn't say we're pressing. I mean, I think, you know, like I said, you know, we're missing pitches over the plate. You know, they're making good pitches when they need to, and, you know, that's kind of how baseball works sometimes. Obviously, we got to do a better job, and you know, got to dig deep, you know, next couple of days, and, you know, get ready to go in LA.
Bryce, this team has shown a lot of resiliency over the years. there's been a lot of obstacles, and now it's a very tough one now, down 0-2, going to LA. Just the overall mood and confidence as you guys head to Los Angeles.
Yeah, I mean, first 1 of 3, so obviously they're not there yet, so we just gotta play the best baseball we can and understand we're the good team in here, and anything can happen in the next couple days.
Bryce, you guys have had some really good seasons as a core. Showed a lot of fight tonight. I guess, what do you make though of that? Over the past 3 seasons, it's now 9 losses in the last 11 playoff games and 5 out of 6 here. What do you make of that?
Yeah, just got to flip the script. Obviously, like you said, it's been tough. So just got to flip the script and understand. Like I said, we're a really good baseball team, and it's like I said, first to 3. So just got to keep going.
Bryce Harper, always a class act, answering the tough questions after a disappointing loss between the Phillies as they go down 0-2. In terms of Blake Snell, most career postseason starts, 9 or more strikeouts and 2 or fewer hits allowed. He's ahead of Max Scherzer, Garrett Cole, Christian Javier, Josh Beckett, and Roger Clemens. Snell might walk a few guys, but he will not give up hits, and he will rack up those punch-outs. Here's Snell at the podium.
We're going to go over here with Jack on the right.
Just before we get to your start, what was it like watching that 9th inning play out, and what was the mood like in the dugout?
Yeah, the mood was good. Excitement, belief. I mean, we know we're going to win. We're confident in that. And, we found a way to win, made some really good plays. And, yeah.
With your start, how important, especially early, was it? It seemed like the fastball location was really good, maybe like setting up the secondary stuff. Like, what allowed you to especially get the kind of swings you did against them and work deep in the game?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like early on, it was big. I was just trying to figure out what their game plan was and then how I was going to attack. I just faced them not too long ago, so I knew I was going to have to adjust and do some things differently and then keep some things the same as well. So just reading swings, approach, just trying to figure them out and then attack.
Next question. Jack, are we all right? Go back to you.
The at bat to Harper with the sliders, or that 2 sequence in the 6th, what was kind of going through your mind there and figuring out how you're going to attack in that spot?
Yeah, I needed weak contact, so I knew I was going to have to attack him somewhere where he could hit. But I felt confident with the slider. Like today, I felt really confident with that pitch, so just kind of rode it out against him, that at bat, and ended up winning. So.
Okay, anything else with Blake? We'll take one more over here on the left. Dylan?
Just what you think of that play by Mookie there? Obviously relatively new shortstop to be able to do something that difficult in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, that was like, you practice that play all the time, and you never know when it's going to happen. And then for it to happen in the postseason in Philly, tough environment, and to be there, make the throw, make the catch, make the play. It's pretty amazing. So, I mean, everyone's fired up. The dugout went crazy. But to be able to do that play and everyone do it correctly was pretty amazing.
Okay, we good? Anything else? Thanks, Blake.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, more than good right now if you're Blake Snell. In terms of the Dodgers' offense, Luzardo was excellent for much of the night, but the Dodgers were able to scrape out what they needed to. Teoscar Hernandez remains hot. He gets 2 hits to lead the offensive charge, but Mookie Betts has been much better since the calendar turned to September after a lost season. Mookie's back. He went 1 for 4. Here he is.
It's just another learned behavior. I got to give that credit to Miggy Rojas. I think we did it earlier in the year in Anaheim, and I remember asking him, like, when's a good time to do it? He said in a do or die situation, and he's really been, him and Woody have really helped me a lot, just learning situations. I had never been in that situation in a game like this, so I just trusted it and made a decision, and it worked.
Does that just show the growth that you've had at that position? Because it is a take charge kind of captain position. For you to feel that comfortable to insist on it, I mean, that kind of shows where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know if it was very comfortable, but somebody's got to do it, and I figured if there was ever a good time to make a decision and roll with it, that was the time.
Okay, on the wheel play, the shortstop typically isn't as close to second as you were positioned. It looked like you just dead sprinted toward third base. Did that increase the degree of difficulty there?
I don't know. Just God blessed me with some athleticism, so I was able to just kind of put it on display there.
You're talking the other day about like you just don't have to think through things at shortstop as much anymore. Is that one of those examples where like it instinctually kind of kicked in for you, like this was the right thing to do?
Yeah, like I said, Miggy told me it, and all he had to do was tell me once, and I just remembered it. And that was, to me, that was like a do or die situation. I think them tying the game up turns all the momentum there. So if we can find a way to stop it, we can. That would be great. And like I said, I just made a decision and rolled with it.
Mookie, you guys took their best shot. It was somewhat of a desperation game for them. They're down 0-2 now. How good do you feel about where you're at going back home?
I feel all right, but you know, them boys they're hungry. They're hungry, and they're gonna come ready to go back in LA. So we can't let our guard down at all, because if so, they'll run right through it, and we'll be coming back here for Game 5. So we have to make sure we stay ready and stay hungry.
I bet that Dave was willing to not just like let you sort of call that play, but also like kind of pushing forward. That sort of say that the trust that he kind of has in you in that spot.
Yeah, he trusts his guys, man. He trusts his guys. We've been together for I don't even know how many years, but so we have an idea of what each other can do. We do a pretty good job of putting each other in the good spots to be successful. And that was one of those times where Doc kind of just called on us and said, "You guys figure it out." In a very positive way. Like he trusts us, and we did.
Max was describing what it was like on your end of that bunt. What was it like from your side, seeing him and his instincts, measuring it right and making a terrific throw?
Honestly, I didn't even see Muntz until I got there and looked up, because I know I had to really bust it to get there, and I had to make sure I beat Castellanos. And it's all went so fast, man. I don't even remember what happened, honestly. I just remember catching the ball, and I was on the ground at that point.
So after the game, Doc's in here saying, what a great game, what a great game. How do you describe what just happened?
Honestly, I'll take off my Dodgers hat and just put on a fan hat. I think that was a really, really dope baseball game. I think both of these games were really, really dope baseball games. Fun to be a part of. Obviously, it's a lot better when you're on the winning side, but you can't ask for better postseason baseball. That's it's just fun. This is why we play.
When you and Miggy talked about that in Anaheim, you were just talking about it, or he said, "Hey, let's run it now"?
He put it on. He took charge, and he was actually playing second. And no, gosh, I don't remember where he was playing. but he just said, "Let's do it. Let's do it. This is the time." And I had never done it. I mean, at second base, I'd never done it from short, and so I just remembered it. And
so this is the second time you've done it.
Second time I've done it. But, you know, Miggy's done an amazing job after the game in Anaheim, just explaining what I need to do and why and how and all these things. And so just figured I'd try it.
How many times have you even rep that in spring training?
We didn't do that at all. That's just purely on the spot.
Are you going to rename this for the Dodgers, not the wheel play, but the wagon wheel play?
We'll see. We'll see if I can get the chords right on the guitar, and then we'll maybe be able to get the wagon wheel play.
Thank you.
How fun was that?
Yeah, that was a heck of a ball game. Lots to unpack in that one. You know, to come away with a win right there, huge momentum maintainer, and so you know, looking forward to getting back home. But great ball game, great plays, huge win.
Did you consider at all going straight to Sasaki in the ninth, and what ultimately made you go with Trinan there?
I thought about it. He hasn't gone 2 out of 3 much at all. Just figuring the run right there. You know, Blake's pitched some of the biggest innings in the postseason for us, and felt really confident right there. And with Vesia behind him, if needed. And so I didn't want to just kind of, you know, preemptively put him in there. Again, I felt good with who we had with our leverage relievers, a couple of our highest leverage relievers. And, you know, fortunately, you know, he was ready when called upon. And I liked him versus Trey. And he got a big out for us.
And just one last one from me, just kind of in the context of this series, in the context of what you guys are hoping to accomplish this October, just what does it mean to get the 2 wins here?
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. You know, guys are really stepping up. I thought Blake threw a heck of a ball game, Blake Snell, and what Emmett did was fantastic. I thought his stuff was good tonight. And, obviously what Roki has done has continued to show, has been very encouraging for, on a lot of fronts.
Next question. Go to Jack on the right.
Can you walk us through what you saw on the bunt play and what Max and Mookie did to be able to cover that and get that out?
Yeah, it was an impromptu play that I just told Mookie, Stott's going to bunt. He's a good bunter, and so let's just run a wheel play. And Max be aggressive, field it, and Mookie get over there and beat Castellanos there. And, those guys executed it to perfection. It was a lot tougher. They made it look a lot easier than it was. And for me, that was our only chance really to win that game in that moment.
Rob Thomson mentioned that part of why Stott stuck with the bunt is because Mookie almost disguised it with how late he broke to third, just for him to execute in a moment like that at this new position he's playing. What does it say about his growth there?
It's just he's a baseball player. And, it's one of those things where you can kind of organically create a play, and certainly it doesn't happen with a tag play at third base. And so he disguised it, and the foot speed obviously much more fleet of foot than Castellanos, and to still have to field it, lead Mookie, and then on the run and still make a tag play, tough play. And he hung in there with Castellanos bearing down on him. But yeah, Mookie's growth has been incredible.
And in that seventh inning, is that the kind of inning from the contact to the base running to manufacturing runs that what you've talked about seeing out of the offense the last couple of weeks, all of that kind of coming together?
All that coming together. Just really good at bats across up and down the lineup, and even, Will being inserted in the game to get a big hit right there versus Kirkering. Can't say enough about what Ben Rortvet's done for us, to be able to kind of hold it down for Will to get into the game. What he's done with our pitching has been incredible. And then, the defensive plays by Freddie, huge plays, even in that ninth inning to get the force out and then to get that kind of in-between hop from Tommy. That was a huge, huge play. So just the at-bats, taking walks and, all of that, the defense, base run, everything just top-notch.
Next question. Gonna go far left, first row.
You mentioned last game with Will kind of getting his feet wedges. What does it mean to have his bat back for situations like this one in the seventh?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, he's our all-star catcher. And so you're just trying to play the middle of getting him back, working him back into kind of game shape. And it's just a little bit tougher to do in the postseason. But when you have a guy like Ben with what he's done, preventing runs, makes it a lot easier. But I do think that now, Will's got his game legs back, and hopefully he comes in good tomorrow for the workout and feels good for Game 3.
Far back on the left, Kirsten.
Dave, back here, for Rojas, when with that play in which he was able to get the tag at the base for Trey Turner, he walked off a little gingerly after that. How is he doing, and is there any kind of concern for him potentially moving forward?
Yeah, so Miggy, great play, aggressive, heady play to get Trey at third base on the force play, and then the hamstring tightened up a little bit on him. It's something he's been dealing with for the last few weeks, so wanted to get him out of there. Obviously like Muncy coming to the game, so we'll see how he comes in tomorrow, and his status, I would say it's fair to say he's day-to-day.
Okay. Anything else, Dave? We're going to go one more back here on the right.
Just a quick follow-up on the wheel play, because we're getting conflicting evidence. Max said you guys don't even practice that in spring training.
Not once.
Somebody else said you did, so Max is correct.
No, we don't practice that play. It's just kind of, we don't, and we don't.
Thanks, Dave.